Christ, they that are connected to Christ, look, he says, he will deliver them from the snares of the flood or from the deadly pestilence. Hear me, hear me, hear me. If you are connected to God, God delivers you. One, because you are dwelling in the secret place of God. You are dwelling in the secret place of God. Means God has delivered you. Oh, glory to God. Tonight, whoever will connect to Christ in this season of Easter, as many that will be connected to Christ, he says, I'll deliver them from the snares and the pestilence and the deadly pestilence. When you go to US, now they are crying for God. When you go to Asia, they are calling upon God. When you go to Italy, they are calling upon God. When there was no coronavirus, nobody cares. When there was no virus, nobody cares. When there was no virus,
The exact dynamics of how the virus is transmitted is yet to be determined. In general, respiratory viruses are usually transmitted through droplets created when an infected person coughs or sneezes, or through something that has been contaminated with the virus. People most at risk of infection from the novel coronavirus are those in close contact with animals, such as live animal market workers, and those who are caring for people infected with the virus, such as family members or healthcare workers. So, how does the disease present? Well, from what is known so far, there can be a number of symptoms ranging from mild to severe. There can be fever and respiratory symptoms such as cough and shortness of breath. In more severe cases, there's been pneumonia, kidney failure, and death. The mortality rate is not known yet. How can we tell whether someone is infected? The infection can be diagnosed by a test called PCR, or polymerase chain reaction. This test identifies the virus based on its genetic fingerprint. There's currently no specific medication for the virus, and treatment is supportive care. There's currently no vaccine to protect against the virus. Treatment and vaccines are in development. How do we prevent transmission of the virus? This new virus currently has a limited geographic spread. However, there are a number of standard hygiene practices that have been recommended to protect against infection and further spread. These include covering your mouth and nose when coughing or sneezing with a medical mask, tissue, or flexed elbow, avoiding close contact with those who are unwell, the appropriate use of masks and personal protective equipment, especially in a healthcare setting, washing hands regularly with soap and water, or alcohol-based hand rub. Actions that can be taken to prevent infection from an animal source include avoiding unnecessary unprotected contact with animals, washing hands after contact with animals or animal products, and ensuring that animal products are cooked thoroughly before they're consumed. It's important to stay home if you're feeling unwell, but if you have a fever, cough, and difficulty breathing, seek medical care early and share your previous travel history with your healthcare provider. That's a quick look at this emerging infectious disease. Given that this outbreak is evolving rapidly, what's known about this virus can change. Please check the websites below for the most up-to-date information. In December 2019, there was a cluster of pneumonia cases in China. Investigations found that it was caused by a previously unknown virus, now named the 2019 novel coronavirus. In this video, we'll take a quick look at what's currently known about the virus. Keep in mind that this is a new virus, and what's known about the virus now might change in the future. Coronaviruses are a large group of viruses. They consist of a core of genetic material surrounded by an envelope with protein spikes. This gives it the appearance of a crown. Crown in Latin is called corona, and that's how these viruses get their name. There are different types of coronaviruses that cause respiratory and sometimes gastrointestinal symptoms. Respiratory disease can range from the common cold to pneumonia, and in most people, the symptoms tend to be mild. However, there are some types of coronaviruses that can cause severe disease. These include the severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus, first identified in China in 2003, and the Middle East respiratory syndrome coronavirus that was first identified in Saudi Arabia in 2012. The 2019 novel coronavirus was first identified in China. It initially occurred in a group of people with pneumonia who'd been associated with a seafood and live animal market in the city of Wuhan. The disease has since spread from those who were sick to others, including family members and healthcare staff. There are many cases at present, and the disease has spread within China and also to a number of other countries. So, where did the virus come from? It's known that coronaviruses circulate in a range of animals. Sometimes these viruses can make the jump from animals to humans. This is called a spillover and could be due to a range of factors such as mutations in the virus or increased contact between humans and animals. For example, MERS-CoV is known to be transmitted from camels and SARS-CoV from civet cats. The animal reservoir of the 2019 novel coronavirus is not known yet. How is it transmitted? The exact dynamics of how the virus is transmitted is yet to be determined. In general, respiratory viruses are usually transmitted through droplets created when an infected person coughs or sneezes, or through something that has been contaminated with the virus. People most at risk of infection from the novel coronavirus are those in close contact with animals, such as live animal market workers, and those who are caring for people infected with the virus, such as family members or healthcare workers. So, how does the disease present? Well, from what is known so far, there can be a number of symptoms ranging from mild to severe. There can be fever and respiratory symptoms such as cough and shortness of breath. In more severe cases, there's been pneumonia, kidney failure, and death. The mortality rate is not known yet. How can we tell whether someone is infected? The infection can be diagnosed by a test called PCR, or polymerase chain reaction. This test identifies the virus based on its genetic fingerprint. There's currently no specific medication for the virus, and treatment is supportive care. There's currently no vaccine to protect against the virus. Treatment and vaccines are in development. How do we prevent transmission of the virus? This new virus currently has a limited geographic spread. However, there are a number of standard hygiene practices that have been recommended to protect against infection and further spread. These include covering your mouth and nose when coughing or sneezing with a medical mask, tissue, or flexed elbow, avoiding close contact with those who are unwell, the appropriate use of masks and personal protective equipment, especially in a healthcare setting, washing hands regularly with soap and water or alcohol-based hand rub. Actions that can be taken to prevent infection from an animal source include avoiding unnecessary unprotected contact with animals, washing hands after contact with animals or animal products, and ensuring that animal products are cooked thoroughly before they're consumed. It's important to stay home if you're feeling unwell, but if you have a fever, cough, and difficulty breathing, seek medical care early and share your previous travel history with your healthcare provider. That's a quick look at this emerging infectious disease. Given that this outbreak is evolving rapidly, what's known about this virus can change. Please check the websites below for the most up-to-date information. In December 2019, there was a cluster of pneumonia cases in China. Investigations found that it was caused by a previously unknown virus, now named the 2019 novel coronavirus. In this video, we'll take a quick look at what's currently known about the virus. Keep in mind that this is a new virus, and what's known about the virus now might change in the future. Coronaviruses are a large group of viruses. They consist of a core of genetic material surrounded by an envelope with protein spikes. This gives it the appearance of a crown. Crown in Latin is called corona, and that's how these viruses get their name. There are different types of coronaviruses that cause respiratory and sometimes gastrointestinal symptoms. Respiratory disease can range from the common cold to pneumonia, and in most people, the symptoms tend to be mild. However, there are some types of coronaviruses that can cause severe disease. These include the severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus, first identified in China in 2003, and the Middle East respiratory syndrome coronavirus that was first identified in Saudi Arabia in 2012. The 2019 novel coronavirus was first identified in China. It initially occurred in a group of people with pneumonia who'd been associated with a seafood and live animal market in the city of Wuhan. The disease has since spread from those who were sick to others, including family members and healthcare staff. There are many cases at present, and the disease has spread within China and also to a number of other countries. So, where did the virus come from? It's known that coronaviruses circulate in a range of animals. Sometimes these viruses can make the jump from animals to humans. This is called a spillover and could be due to a range of factors such as mutations in the virus or increased contact between humans and animals. For example, MERS-CoV is known to be transmitted from camels and SARS-CoV from civet cats. The animal reservoir of the 2019 novel coronavirus is not known yet. How is it transmitted? The exact dynamics of how the virus is transmitted is yet to be determined. In general, respiratory viruses are usually transmitted through droplets created when an infected person coughs or sneezes, or through something that has been contaminated with the virus. People most at risk of infection from the novel coronavirus are those in close contact with animals, such as live animal market workers, and those who are caring for people infected with the virus, such as family members.
All right, so you are welcome back. And this is Spirit in the Morning. That was a little technical hit there. So just gone by was the motivational message from Reverend Quainoo, the head pastor for the Outreach here in PFP. And this is Spirit in the Morning. So let me just go to Benedicta so that we can dissect into the motivational message. Today he was talking about dwelling in his word.
Yes.
Yes. So he established that you must dwell in the house of God. And you know, in the house of God is heaven, being in heaven. And so anything that you will do that will take you out from the heaven places, then I think you need to resist. So your spirit will be very happy if you are with God. And so I'm going to Benedicta to find out from her some moral lessons that she has learned from today's motivational message. You can also equally send in your comments. Yes, send in your comments as you watch us, and it will be read aloud here on Spirit Filled TV, telecasting live from Sunyani Fiebe in the Bono region. My name is John Siddle. Bene, yes, you are welcome back. Yeah, we went for the motivational message, and Reverend today has really delved into the Bible. What do you make of it?
Okay, dwelling in the house of the Lord. I think not just staying in the house of the Lord, combining what Minister Intianani said the other time and with
last week, Saturday.
yes, and with Reverend Bright's message this morning. I think we shouldn't just stay in the church for staying sake or because we've been asked to stay in the church, but we must also work for the Lord. It's very important. It doesn't mean you should be the one preaching or doing something extraordinary. Anything at all. Sweeping in the church, arranging chairs, anything at all to help.
What many youth in the church does not like.
Yes.
I mean, when we are being asked to sweep, it looks as if you are being insulted on that. And I don't know if you are done with your submission on dwelling in the house of God.
Yeah, I think that'll be also. We have to stay in the house of the Lord and work for Him as well.
All right. So you want to pause here for another break. So you want to pause here for another break. When we are back, headlines today is follows. We have a lot for you, so that we can move on. Can we move on with the headlines today? What? All right, so you are watching Spirit Show in the morning, and we need your comments. Yes, so you are watching us on the Facebook, or you just like our Facebook page and be part of this big family, so that anytime we are on air with the Spirit in the morning, then that will notify. So you can also go to YouTube and then subscribe on our YouTube channel. Yes, subscribe on our YouTube channel, and that is that. And so, if you are watching us, this is Spirit in the Morning. My name is Johnson, and I have the editor seated right behind, oh sorry, beside me. Yes, I wanted to throw you back. I wanted to send you back to you. So we have so much coming your way. We have public health or health tidbits, and I also have headlines today. I mean the front pages of the various newspapers, while some website also has some stories. And you know, the MC of Sunyani has stated that tomorrow being Wednesday and being market day here in Sunyani, she said no nose mask, no market. That is what she has established. And so if you are watching me in Kumasi, in Accra, and if you want to come to Wednesday Sunyani market, then which means you need to get for yourself a face mask. It's very important. If not that, tomorrow you will be disallowed by the security agencies. You will never be allowed to enter. And with this one, let me also say that now the Nanago supermarket is no more there. And so there have been places. So for example, when you go to Chanamafu Senior Technical School, that is where you can get all kinds of food stars and that to buy. We also have a place in Coronation Park where things, second-hand clothing are sold and that. When you go to Jubilee Park here in Sunyani, then there's another market situated there. And so you get to know more about it. But tomorrow specifically, if you do not put on the face mask, the MCE for Sunyani is saying you shouldn't come to the market at all. You shouldn't be there because you'll never be allowed to enter. Even if you want to come and sell gold to the people of Sunyani, if you do not have the face mask, you'll never be allowed to enter. Alright, so I know, yes, my guys are ready. Can we go for break so that we'll continue with the headlines today? We should continue with the headlines. Alright, so with this that we are moving on to the headlines today, so just we'll go quickly to Benedicta for side of the headlines.
Okay, in headlines today, our first story, bees kill 74-year-old farmer in Nsoko. lady.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it was about a month ago. And with the hard working of our own Ghana Police Service, in fact, yes, thumbs up, you have done well. You've been able to grab this notorious, should I use useless man? Yes, he's aimless person. Why should he go around raping? I think he has been doing it, but he was caught by this lady.
Yes.
Yes, so it's not once. And so thumbs up to the Ghana Police Service. They've really done well. That is great.
Okay, Ghana Police Service, talking about them, I'd like to say a very good morning to Ebenezer J. He's also in the Ghana Police Service.
Where is he?
He's in Takrady. Yes, so a very good morning to you. Moving on, Akufo-Addo will find money to fund construction of 88 hospital. Gabi Ochredako tells the NBC.
The president has come out to promise that there's going to be some 88 hospitals in 88 districts. But and how he is going to get the money to finance these 88 hospitals, that is where we Ghanaians do not understand. You understand? And according to the minority in parliament yesterday, they established the budget presented by the finance minister, this year did not capture this 88 hospitals. And so where is the government, for that matter, the president of Ghana, going to get this money to build this 88 hospitals? Perhaps Nana, His Excellency, the President Nana Akufo-Addo qualified or described these 88 hospitals as what? As ultra-modern ones.
Yes.
Ultra-modern. They are the land where it is ultra-modern. And so it's not just, should I say, village hospital.
Yes.
So if ultra-modern hospital, then we are looking at billions of cities. So where actually are we going to get this money from? And so Gabi Ochredako, who is very close to the president's office, has come out to say that probably the president knows where he can find money to finance this 88 hospital. But I think, in my opinion, I think the government should come out clearly to tell us that this is where we have identified a source where we can get money to finance this 88. And you know, we are in the the 4th month in the year 2020. So that is barely 8.5 or 8, let's say 9 months.
Yes.
So we are looking at 9 months, using 9 months to construct 88 hospitals. It's not just for fun. It is not clinics, but hospitals. And you know, yesterday, you know, I even applauded the president. You remember?
Yes.
Yes. But you know, with the little research that I have done, yesterday I was just having a chat with one contractor, which I wanted to invite him to my show. So if things are well, yes, he may come, he may pass through the show. He was doubting that, you know, 88, if it is, he told me if it is 8, yes, that can be possible. But 88 hospitals, sometimes there's something else. It's something else. It's something else. So it's something else. So that is what Gabi Ochredako in the office of the president is saying that. And I think this one is directly to the NDC.
Yes.
You know, the NDC, especially the minority in parliament, are saying, Massa, this one is crocodile. It's not true. That is what the minorities in parliament are saying. That is never true. Ghanaians shouldn't believe it. And for that matter, it is a political gimmick. They just want to, President Nana Akufo want to gain political points. That is what the minority are saying. So Gabriel Ochredako came into should I say, the bank their dues, say yes. Nanado is the president of Ghana, and he knows where he can find money to finance this 88 hospital. Yes. So time will tell.
Yes, and I think I would agree with Gabi Ocheda because it's true. I agree with you that he should come out and tell us how he's going to finance everything. But those closer to the office know what is going on. So if he comes out to tell us that the president will find money to fund construction of the 88 hospitals, I think it's laudable because though it's left with some few months, barely 8 months, but I always say this, let's hope and keep our fingers crossed because we are all hoping that it will come to pass. Because in Ghana here, we need a lot of hospitals, and not just any hospital, ultra modern ones. And I also said that I applaud the president for he's saying that he will provide accommodation for the health workers. Because let's say a person is in Fiepre here, a health worker, he's over here, and maybe he's working in Sunyani or Abisin. He has to take a car every day to that place. Let's say they have an emergency at the hospital,
okay,
and he's over here.
Okay.
Maybe by the time he gets a car to Abisin, the person's situation might be very critical.
Okay.
So
I side with you anyway.
Yes.
I side with you, but the situation is what the minority in parliament do not understand is, you know, he's our father, and I'm not sure he should hide anything from anyone. So if you have come clearly to state that within this year you're going to build 88 hospitals, then you need to tell Ghanaians where exactly that money will come from, because you have already submitted 2020 budget to the parliament. Yes. I hope they have already approved it, and so if anything to come by, I think, or do you have to say that the loan for coronavirus support has tend to be building hospitals? Oh, okay, people are donating to the account of the COVID-19. So if probably the loan from World Bank, yes, IMF, sorry, yes, from IMF, if probably you can, if the president want to change that into building of hospitals, I think it's clever. But what we need is the presidents should come out to tell us or address the nation that probably there is this, I said this, and this is where I am going to get the money to finance this. I think that is what Ghanaians, a lot of Ghanaians do not understand. And you know, Ghana, everything is politics. So as we are speaking now, people are terming this to be, hey, you guys are politicians. The reality must be told. So you can send in your comment to this very story. Yes, Gabi Ochedako, who happens to be the cousin of the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and very close, works in the office of the president, has come out to say that the president knows where he can find money to finance the 88 hospitals in 88 districts in Ghana. This is relevant, and I have told you that we need one in I need one in my hometown. That is Domamasu. Yes, I need one. So, Mr. Minister, Minister for Health, yes, that is your constituency anyway, Doma Central. So make sure that we get one hospital there. I have begun my lobbying. All right, so just conclude your headline so that you move on.
yeah, that would be all. That would be my submission.
Right, so we are moving on to the front pages. The front pages. So to start with, I am starting with the Daily Guide today. I'm starting with Daily Guide today. So with Daily Guide, we have Daily Guide. We have NDC days over 88 hospitals. Yes, I think it's just in line with what we had. Good. So that is it. You have it there. That is what you have it there. And again, we have defunct banks, CEOs, cases gets May adjournment or adjournment. Yes. And also we have 13 doctors hit by COVID-19. So this is daily guide, and they are reporting that 13, those doctors who are really helping us to fight the COVID-19, we have 13 of them who are hit by COVID-19, which means they have contracted this disease, COVID-19. And also we have Obinim story there, Obinim and Canada, Japan. Canada, Japan, yes, we have it there. And then we have NLA makes strides. And that is what we have in the daily guide. That is what we have in the daily guide. So quickly, let's move on to daily graphic. Yes, today, daily graphic. So that is what we have on your screen. That is daily guide. So quickly, we are moving on to daily graphic today. So daily graphic today. Labor unions want tripartite engagement. Yes, labor unions want tripartite engagement, and that is what we have there. And so COVID-19 testing begins at UHAS laboratory. Yes, COVID-19 testing begins at UHAS laboratory here in Ghana. And so that is what we have on your screen. That is daily graphic today. So truths and accuracy every day. That is daily graphic. So you get a copy of yourself. Then you read the full content of it. Now moving on to the New Crusading Guide. The New Crusading Guide. That is where I have my MP and who doubles as the health minister, Honorable Ajiman Menu. And so the New Crusading Guide also has reported that 13 Ghanaian doctors contracts coronavirus. And so when you go on your knee praying for Ghana, make sure that you pray for the health personnel as well. You know, they are really suffering. They are really suffering. And with that, you have the New Crusading Guide has said that Ghana's economy is good condition. And this one, Opon Nkrumah, that is the information minister, replies Mahama. And so that is what we have on the New Crusading Guide today. And also we have Second Lady Tell Scholarship Secretariat. Yes. So some support of the orphanage. Yes. So the Second Lady Tells Scholarship Secretariat. Good. So the Second Lady of Ghana has informed the Scholarship Secretariat to support the orphanage. Yes, and that is what we have there. And also on top of the New Crusading Guide, we have cocoa boards, allows cocoa farmers for massive printing. Okay, pruning. Okay, so cocoa board allows cocoa farmers for massive pruning, and that is what we have there. And that is that. And so today, just go for your New Crusading Guide and then get the full story so that you can get the full story. We are moving on to the ABC News. So the ABC News, yes, what does the ABC News have for us today? And so on the front page of the ABC News, we have our own president picture, very nice picture. Very fantastic. You know, our president is very handsome, like me. Yes. So his picture is there on the front page of ABC News. So we have government to construct 94 hospitals. This is what we are talking about. So the president will come out immediately to tell us where we can get this money to construct 94 hospitals in 88 districts. We are praying that this comes to reality. Then we move on. So moving on to, so when you go to the page 5 of ABC News, we have 75% of countries in West Africa projected to face famine in 2020. Famine. So we have about 75% of countries in West Africa. You know, Ghana is located on the West African continent, and so 75 countries, or 75% of countries in West Africa projected to face famine in 2020. Ghana not included. Yes, World Food Program. So Ghana, we are blessed. Okay, you will see to that. If probably we are excluded. All right. So Opon Kroma is saying that stop redefining EC's independence when it doesn't suit you. Yes, that is what the information minister is saying, that we should stop redefining what the EC, the Electoral Commission, should do, their work. Yes, we shouldn't we shouldn't teach them what they should do, but rather they are independent body. We should leave them to do what they think is right, and that is what the information minister, Honorable Opon Kroma, is saying. And so at the page 5 of the ABC News, construction of 94 hospitals master stroke. Good. And so there's a picture there. There's a picture at the right corner of ABC News, where there is this picture showing how the hospital, the 98 or 94 hospitals is going to be. And that is what we are bringing you. And ABC News, we have the statistics of the COVID-19, the updates of the COVID-19. When you get ABC News today, yes, you get to know what is really happening in Ghana and that. Now, let's move on to the custodian. Yes, the custodian newspaper. So, custodian newspaper. And there is this news. Ghana records 1 million malaria cases. Ghana records 1 million malaria cases. You know, because of the fight of COVID-19, I think all our attention have been shifted to the fight of COVID-19. Malaria is also at the corner. You know, it has started raining. And so Bahamas, the breed of mosquitoes, so Bahamas germinate and they will be around. Yes. And so there's a research by the custodian saying that Ghana records 1 million malaria cases. And we have 54 deaths in first quarter. 54 deaths in first quarter. Yes, that is the custodian. Yes. Okay. So the custodian has a that's 54 has died out of malaria attack, not COVID-19. As of now, production, how many deaths have you recorded for COVID-19? 11, right? 11 deaths. And malaria is killing 54. So malaria and COVID-19, which one is stronger? Right. So over to you. Yes, that is what the custodian have for us. And so Minister of Health orders compulsory mask wearing. Ministry of Health have ordered compulsory mask wearing. And so that is it. Now, here in Sunyani, in fact, yesterday I was in Sunyani town and I was so amazed. Charlie, everywhere, especially the taxi drivers. In fact, I must give it to you guys. I didn't see one taxi driver, not even all drivers, excluding the private ones. For the private ones, I didn't see, frankly speaking. So, Massa, in this town, sometimes we pamper those who are rich, especially the security agencies. The private cars are not using face mask at all. What is it? What is it that are they special than every authority or every law is on with the vulnerable? Adentia. Police, make sure that you also enforce the private cars to put on the face mask. In Ghana, for in fact, you have the same blood. in us. What is it? But so I have to give it to the taxi drivers in Sunyani, everyone. And then when you come to Sunyani, in fact, yes, put it on the face mask is very important. Now the MCA has stated that if you know tomorrow you come to Sunyani markets, you have to put on the face mask. If not that, Tenafie. It's very simple. So last on the custodian. So I think last week we reported this. The President of Ghana's address to the nation, the 8th Nation's address. So the President said, let scientists talk on COVID-19, not politicians. That is very important. You know, when you call in politicians to deal with COVID-19 issue, they will twist the whole issue. So the one listening wouldn't be informed. For this one, President, what can he? I tell you, we have to allow the scientists, those who have the expertise to dissect into the COVID-19 issue. So, Spiritual TV, we have helped a person who has been educating us on COVID-19. That is why I urge you to watch Spirit in the morning, every morning. I know you do entertain politicians and that too. That is it. Very good morning to you, the MCE for Sunyani West. Very good morning to you wherever you are. God bless you so much. Yes. So we are moving on to Ghanaian Times. Yes, the Ghanaian Times has it that GIS launches my hands for three over illegal entry into Ghana, and that is that. And then Kolebu embarks on mass PPE production. Kolebu embark on mass PPE production. That is page 13 of the Ghanaian Times. They also have fall army worm vision again. I think we have given that. We have given that to you already. So the Minister or Ministry of Agriculture has come out with it that the fall army worm has come out again, and so farmers, you must sit up and make sure that you spray your crops often, and that is what the Ghanaian Times have for us this morning. Right. So let's move on to Daybreak. Oh, so that is where you have it, the Ghanaian Times. Yes, that is where you have it. So the full banner line. So for army worm, invasion against again. All right. So let's move on to Daybreak newspaper. Daybreak newspaper. So Daybreak newspaper, we have pictures of Honorable Osafo Mafo, the senior minister there, and this one said how government revenue is lost daily because of Unipass. Yes, so that is where you have how government revenue is lost daily because of Unipass. And so when you go for Daybreak, you'll be able to get the full content to read. Then we have National Lottery Authority officially takes over *959#. Okay. Now we have at the page 3 of the Daybreak, we have Ghanaian businesses under threat. Yes, Ghanaian businesses under threat. And I know because of the coronavirus pandemic, Ghanaian business, some businesses in Ghana will surely be under threat. Good. So that is that for Daybreak. Quickly, let's move on to the Daily Statesman. The Daily Statesman. Right. So the Daily Statesman has it that we have the Minister for Education. Yes, and he's speaking. He has an advice for you parents and children. So he said, Education Minister urges parents to support kids at home. This is very important. Right. the banner headline for the Daily Statesman: Dufour Zenator forcing in final race. So Dufour Zenator Rawlings forcing in final race, and that is you have it there. And again, Akufo-Addo walks his talk, and this one is the reply by Gabi to NDC, and that is what you have there. Get a copy of the Daily Statesman and read the content that you have in there. So with regards to education, in fact, it is true, some parents are really burdening children with some house rules and that. Please, we are not saying that we shouldn't task them. You should task them, but you should make sure that still they are in school. Let them learn. Let them learn. Today, I know my reporters are going out to find out from some children how they study, so that tomorrow we get back to you with the full report. Quickly, let's move on. Finally, the Chronicle. The Chronicle of all newspapers. Let's move on to the Chronicle. Shepherd's Authority beats a hasty retreat. That is the banner headline there. And then we have CSM revenge Upper West over 40 dead. And that is that we have. So still we have the health minister feature there. And right, so the president has this at the right corner of the Chronicle. It has that your money making interest should not endanger Ghanaians. And this one is the president saying that how you get your money you shouldn't put the layman Ghanaian's life into danger. And that is what we have for you now. So very good morning to you. And if you are watching us, this is headlines today, and you have all the headlines and also the front pages there. Make sure you get a copy of them so that you read the full content of the story. Up next will be the health bit with Osebonsu. So you stay tuned. Back from the break. So you are watching live telecast of Spirits in the Morning. My name is Johnson Owusitewia, and this program is live on your Facebook page. So please, all right. So please make sure that you like your Facebook page and leave a comment. Yes, I'll be reading your comments that you have posted to our Facebook page as well as the YouTube channel pretty soon. But now we have some tips on the COVID-19 for you. Yes, and so, but before then, let me say a very good morning to you, the General Manager for Dimpa FM here in Sunyani. Thank you so much for watching us, and we thank you so much for your compliment as well. Let me say, also ask you to support us by sharing our page. Yes, by sharing our page. Now, Spirit in the Morning comes in a way this and every day between the hours of 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. We will be on your screen to share with you the news headlines as well as the some education on COVID-19, and also we have some entertainment. Yes. Fresh Prince will give you some entertainment, and here we term it as the Entertainment Plus. That is it. Now it's time for the COVID-19 education, and Osebonsu is seated. You're welcome. I hope you are blessed today.
Yes, by God.
I can see that. Yesterday I went through town. Yesterday, Sunyani, and in fact I was amazed. I saw a lot of guys putting on the face mask. I think your education is really going down to the people. But with regards to this very town, Fiapri, people are still not adhering to the measures put in place by our president. And so I think if you are watching us and if you are in Fiapri, if the authorities are also watching us, I think there should be some enforcement here in Fiapri. They are not putting on the face mask. It's very important. Yes. You know, we did this documentary. It was an interview anyway. That is the Community Watch. Now, we have spoken to the tailors and dressmakers in Fiapri. Now, face masks are available now. Every dressmaker or tailor has made it possible to at least sew 1 or 2 face masks, and they are selling them. 1 Ghana, 2 Ghana. Yes, 1 Ghana and 2 Ghana cedis. Yes, and so that is it. Let me say a very good morning to you, Pastor Moses. You are also a tailor, and you are really supporting us. God bless you wherever you are. So, I suppose, what do we have today?
Okay, some brief education on the nose mask.
Okay. All right. That is good. So let's move on.
Okay, so I think the nose mask or the face mask, it's because with the face mask, I think they should be made available in the system, because from what we know, we dispose it at least 3 hours in a day.
Okay.
So we can't afford that if they are not made available.
Okay.
So with a town like Fairfield, the reason why they are not using it is because it's not available.
It's not too available. Okay.
So I'm urging the government to provide more of the nose
Okay.
masks.
All right.
Okay. So today, on my way here, I met some police officers.
Okay.
They really did well. They were all using the nose mask.
The nose mask.
So
Yeah.
with that, they can ensure that if you are not also having it, you wouldn't board a car.
A car. Yeah.
So that means that when you want something to be ensured, you have to also do things so that people look up to you.
Okay. All
so
right.
with the nose mask, it helps you to avoid spreading the virus.
Okay.
In a way that when you cough or sneeze and you have a nose mask put on, it will be confined to yourself.
Okay.
But if you don't have it on and you cough or sneeze, it will spread easily.
Okay.
So to avoid that, you have to do that, and also protect yourself, because if someone has, you wouldn't know.
Okay.
So if you have a nose mask on and the person has, there is nothing that if the person
discharges and droplets or something from the nose, you wouldn't be able to be affected. So it's better to put on the nose mask.
All right.
Also, washing of hands. With the washing of hands, it has many advantages.
Okay.
Okay. In normal times, you wash your hands to avoid bacterial infections or germs.
Yeah.
So with this COVID-19 case, when you wash your hands frequently, at least 3 hours interval.
Okay.
So when you get any infection, the bacteria will be rendered inactive.
Okay.
So they will die off because you frequently wash your hands. But if you don't do that, when they get to your hands, with time they will spread, because we usually use our hands to touch our face and other parts, which can spread infections we get.
Okay.
So it's very good to wash your hands to avoid all these things. So it's very important. At least you have to wash your hands 2 to 3 hours.
All right.
Then,
All right.
if you don't, if you go to a place where it's crowded and water is not available, you can use your hand sanitizer
Okay.
or rubbing alcohol.
Okay.
You can put it in a small container where you can carry around, because it also helps fight infections.
All
It
right.
contributes to about 98%. Yes, as
Alright.
you wash your hands.
Okay.
Then you can have a tissue so that in any case you can be able to discharge it off.
Okay.
This will help you and protect you from all these infections.
All right.
So this is what I have for you today.
All right. So thank you very much. That was Osebonsu Veronica there, and he has given, or she has given us the health tips, and I know that you watching us would grab something from it. But you see that yesterday I intentionally bought one nose mask where I want to demonstrate something to our viewers. You know, we have this nose mask which was done by our tailors, our main tailors, and we also have this one. Yes, I hope you can see it. Or what Osebonsu has. You know, the difference is that this one comes in a very light way. It has the feature of being it's very light, and so when you put it on your nose or across your nose and your mouth, you are able to move your mouth freely, and also it enhances you to breathe well. Now, yesterday I bought this, and I used this one. What I observed was that because this one comes in a material way or form, the material is a bit harder, and because of that, when you put it on your around your nose, in fact, it becomes very difficult for you to even open your mouth. Let me just do it this way, you know. So you see, right now the way I speak has changed. So I am really struggling to pronounce words. So you see, Ghanaians are complaining that when they put the face mask, sometimes it becomes very difficult for them to talk. So I am urging the various tailors and dressmakers. You know, God has naturally given us pointed nose, and should I say, well-curved mouth. And so I think there should be some sort of creativity here. Make sure when sewing this, you give or you create some space for the nose. Give some, yes, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Just create some space here for your nose, so that when it covers there, the nose will have its way. And then there should be some way for the mouth, so that we can be able to talk, at least, because there's no way when you put on this nose mask, you wouldn't want to talk. Let me just do it for you, so that I hope right now you can hear the sound. And then let me just put this and also speak to you and see how the sound will be. So as I am putting it down, I hope you see the thing has changed. So I'm really what? Struggling. I am really struggling with the way I speak. I hope you understand. So I think tailors are doing well. Tailors and dressmakers, you are really doing well. You are helping the system. But you know, for easy way of using the nose mask, you should at least make it a big, a little bigger, so that when I place it there, and there should be some space. There should be some space, and you know, when you look at it critically, the tailor has merged it here, and so there is this, should I say, thing that will really worry your eye when you try to push it up, your eye and your nose. So we have this thing here that can really worry you a lot. You know, we Ghanaians, some will come with a lot of excuses of not putting on the face or nose mask. So let's do it in such a way that we can get a very free way of breathing and also talking. Because when I put this thing on, and it looks as if I am committing suicide. Yes, because the moment you put this thing there, the way and manner you breathe naturally will all of a sudden change. So it looks as if you want to commit suicide. So when you are to put this one on for 1 to 2 hours, my brother, say no. And so we are aging. With regards to this one, because it has the feature of it being soft, it is very soft. So when I put this one on, still you see that my sound of speaking is still the same, because it is very soft and I can open my mouth freely, and my nose is highly supported. I can breathe well. Yes, I am okay. I hope you understand. So with regards to this one, I think I prefer this one. So if we only want to do this, because this one sometimes becomes very costly or expensive to get, tailors are making it possible. So if you are making it possible, I think it should be standard. The FDA, that is the Food and Drug Authority, they have come out with their way of it being standard. You shouldn't do it in such a way that when I place it on my nose, I will find it difficult to talk or breathe. It's not easy, my brother, cameraman. If you like put one on your face right now, you see that your face and the style of breathing will change. So that is what we are urging you this morning. That the tailors who are manufacturing this locally made nose mask should kindly make it such a way that our breathing and our talking will be free. Should be free, like this one. Right, so that is some education and some research. Anyway, you have already had the education from Osebonsu. What I did was a research that I have done. And I think there's this report that this nose mask in Sunyane, it is sold 5 cedis. Some people are selling this 5 cedis. Are they? Yes, go ask my father in Sefi. He has found for the past 40 years. Saying, this guy, ye pa, and Kawanyaska. I hope you understand. Yenyesika. That is why we always tell you that seek for the face of God, so that God will bless with money. One day I will put our Reverend Bright Quainoo on hot seat here, and you will hear testimonies upon testimonies. Yes. So that is it. Thank you very much. You are watching Spirit in the Morning. My name is Johnson Ostevia, your host. We will be back again with the Community Watch. Stay tuned.